Welcome, everyone. So these games were played Sunday, played in Chicago. We had the Fever against the Chicago Sky. And the Chicago Sky have been without Angel Reese for a couple games now. And of course, the Fever have been without Caitlin Clark. So, this one, the Fever had command of the game for virtually the whole game. But Chicago made at least three runs, and they got within 2 points one time, 4 points another time. Uh, Actually, I think there was three separate times they got within 4 points, but they could just never break through. Never. Every time they'd make a run, the Fever would come back with a three from Kelsey Mitchell, or Sophie Cunningham, or Aaliyah Boston, or Timpson, or just about anybody would just nullify that. And that must have been, I mean, Chicago was in it for I think it was in the fourth quarter that they got it down to four. And they just couldn't get past there. So, one thing I have to mention, Valkyries, I cover them for the most part. I mean, I cover everybody, but the Valkyries are my home team. And to see Chloe Bibby get signed by the Fever, you guys are going to love her. I mean, she came out and hit two. I watched the thing. She was in there in the first quarter. She hit those two threes. She's a fantastic three-point shooter. And what's interesting about that is, Kayla Thornton got hurt. And I am guessing, I mean, I'm not in the Valkyries management, but I guarantee, well, I'm going to just say, I'm going to guarantee you that if the Fever do not sign her, the Valkyries are going to grab her right back again. But you saw what I imagine after seeing, if you're a Fever fan and you just saw what Chloe Bibby has to offer, you're going to figure out a way to keep her. It makes me sad as a Valkyries fan. I was sad to see her go. But there wasn't enough room for her on the roster. But Kayla Thornton's out now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. So we'll see. But you saw what Chloe Bibby can offer you, and and she played really well on defense too. So Chicago, good effort, but just not enough, not enough. So the Fever get the win, 93-78. He had some great play from a lot of players. Like Timpson in the fourth quarter had this fantastic rebound. She was up there. Her fingertips probably were even with the rim when she went up and hauled off that rebound. That was impressive to see. So she got some minutes. Kelsey Mitchell, 35 points. And you know what? It was funny. Like I had seen the score and everything before I actually watched the game, and watching the game, it didn't seem like Kelsey Mitchell had that many points. It was really cool because it was in the flow of the game, and she just didn't miss a whole lot of shots. You do that, and you don't miss a whole lot of shots. And she was 7 for 10 from three. So that's 70% from 3-point. That's impressive. Great game, Kelsey Mitchell. She's playing really well. She was 12 for 19 overall, 35 points. She had 6 assists. So it wasn't, like I said, in the flow of the game. So she was passing as well. She got 2 rebounds, she had 2 turnovers, but she also got 3 steals. So good game for her. We had 4 people on the Fever that were in double figures. So you had Ari McDonald had 10. She was 4 for 8 from the floor. Very nice. 4 assists. She had 2 rebounds. Aaliyah Boston, 14 points, 11 rebounds. So a double-double for Aaliyah Boston. Very, very nice. She was battling it out with Cardoso, and between her and Elizabeth Williams for Chicago, they're pretty strong down low there. So it's a tough go for Aaliyah Boston. 5 for 9. She was 5 for 9. Natasha Howard didn't score in this one. She was struggling, and I think she was probably tired from that other game where she played just phenomenal, and they just took her out. And they put Chloe Bibby in, and they put Lexi Hull and Timpson in. They let Timpson play and gave Natasha Howard a rest, which is probably good down the road. Timpson played well. She ended up with 14 points. She had, let's see, 1 assist and 4 rebounds. So good game for her. She was 6 for 8 from the floor, and she got 2 foul shots. So good game. Good game for her. Lexi Hull, Miss Hustle. She's always hustling. I mean, she almost stole an inbounds play. Ended up getting a foul called on her on that one, but just all over the place. Just nonstop Energizer Bunny hustle. She ended up having 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Let's see, she didn't get a steal. I thought she did. Okay. Well, she was 3 for 7. And then Chloe Bibby was 2 for 5. She was 2 for 4 from three. So, and she scored 2 from the foul line. So 8 points for Chloe. Good job, Chloe. We all like you here in Golden State. So she ended up having 2 rebounds. Sophie Cunningham, 5 points. She was 1 for 6. And 2 free throws. And that pretty much covers it for Indiana. They shot 47% as a team, 37% from three. Oh, that's amazing considering Kelsey Mitchell was 7 for 10. Yeah, there was a lot of 1-fers, except Chloe Bibby was 2 for 4 and Kelsey Mitchell was 7 for 10. Everybody else was 1 for 4, 1 for 3, 1 for 6. So it didn't matter though; they won. Excuse me. So Indiana Fever are now 14-12, and Chicago has dropped to 7-18. Chicago just had too many turnovers. They made some good pushes, but Chicago had 20 turnovers. Indiana scored 31 points off those turnovers. That is just unbelievable, actually. I don't think in all the games I've covered, I don't think I've seen a points off turnovers that high. So there was a lot of them that were just, the pass didn't make it to the receiver in a lot of these turnovers. They went to make a pass and it just didn't make it all the way. There wasn't enough strength on the pass, or it just the timing was off on the pass. But the Fever also had 14 turnovers, and Chicago had 20 points off those. So both teams got to clean up the turnovers a little bit. So Chicago, Racheal Banham had a great game. She was hitting threes all over the place. Kelsey Mitchell was 7 for 10. Racheal Banham was 6 for 11. So almost as good. Just almost as good. She was 8 for 15 overall. Kia Nurse, she was 5 for 14, 1 for 5 from three. Rebecca Allen had a couple of 3-point shots late in the game that brought them within. It was either 2 or 4 points late in the game, but it just wasn't consistent enough. She was 3 for 7, 42% from three, 5 for 11, 45% overall. And she had 13 points. She had 4 assists, 2 rebounds. She had 3 steals, but she also had 3 turnovers. So Elizabeth Williams, she had a fantastic block early in the game. Just a clean stuff. I always love to see great blocks. 9 points. Let's see what else here. She had 8 rebounds. She shot 4 for 6 from the floor. She should just shoot more. Cardoso was 4 for 9, 44%. She ended up having 12 points, 12 rebounds. So a double-double for Cardoso. She had 3 assists, but she had 5 turnovers. Those were some where they didn't quite get to the receiver. Kia Nurse, she played pretty well. 14 points. She was 5 for 14, so 35%. She had 6 rebounds, an assist and a turnover. Let's see. Maddie Westfeld had 4 points. Oni and Wayne didn't score, and Markeisha Davis didn't score for Chicago. They shot 43% as a team, 40% from three. So that's not bad. They couldn't get over that hump. Let's see, what's the rebounding? Indiana had 29, and Chicago had 32. So they out-rebounded them, but just too many turnovers. Indiana shot 47% as a team. So anyway, good game. And so we'll see you next time. Okay.